Friends, I am not excited to be here today. Honestly, I am not excited to make this video for you. I really thought I would be making another pregnancy update video for you, but unfortunately, I am not. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before or if you follow me on Instagram, then you know some of my story and you probably know that I've had miscarriages in the past. I do, however, have one miracle daughter that has been such a blessing to me. I also struggle with infertility and several other chronic illnesses. So all of my chronic illnesses are linked below if you want to learn about them. I have many videos about them. I have videos about my infertility. I have more videos about my infertility coming out, about my secondary infertility journey that we are on right now. And today's video is about my miscarriage that I experienced a few days ago. I know that I cannot make this a happy, exciting video. It's going to be a little depressing and sad, but I wanted to share my story in hopes that it can help you to spread awareness about miscarriages. Not that I want to worry people, especially in their first pregnancy. I know with my first pregnancy, it did end up being a miscarriage, but I wasn't too nervous about it. I knew that miscarriages happened. I didn't know how common they were. I knew they happened, but I just didn't think it would happen to me. And now we are on number 3. So today is just my third miscarriage story. If you want to hear about my other miscarriages, I could make videos about them as well. But I mostly just want to spread awareness and let you just be aware of, the signs to look for. So that you are aware. I knew before I had even lost the baby that things were not good. So I will share with you this story, and then I have some more uplifting videos about miscarriages coming in the future, how to deal with it physically and emotionally, how to help your family and friends deal with it, or how to help someone who you know who is dealing with a miscarriage. So I have those videos. Today it's just going to be a sad video for you. So I had a pretty early miscarriage this time. I was almost 5 weeks pregnant. So it was still super early. It was earlier than my last one, but I knew it was coming. I found out I was pregnant a little over 3 weeks pregnant, and I have actually a video, an update, pregnancy update from that week, and I was going to do weekly updates actually, but I did upload that video so you can see kind of what my first symptoms and signs were that I was pregnant. And I was actually super sick. I could not even think about food. Even before I hit 4 weeks pregnant, I was just so sick. I was super nauseous. I personally almost never throw up. I never threw up when I was pregnant with my daughter, but I just get really nauseous. Almost wish I could throw up because I'm so nauseous. And I was super fatigued and tired, and I do have chronic fatigue, but I could tell it was different. It was more like I just wanted to be snuggly and sleeping all day. And so I had all those symptoms. I knew I was pregnant. I got some positive pregnancy tests. They were pretty light at the beginning, but I did not worry at all because I know that I had tested pretty early and that you didn't get a super dark line that early. So I took a test on a Tuesday, got my positive. Technically I took one Monday night that was super light. Then Tuesday was when I got my for sure positive. I took 3 or 4 more that day. They were all light positives, but they were definitely there. I told my husband. We were just so excited. Because I had miscarriages in the past, I decided that I wanted to not be worried that a miscarriage would come, but just to be excited and happy about this pregnancy, whether I got a week or all 9 months and beyond. But unfortunately, I did only get about another week after that. I thought things were going really well because I was so sick. My line was there pretty early, and so I just kind of rode with it. I was super excited. I told my parents, And I started, of course, doing initial planning. I didn't want to plan too much because, again, I'd had a miscarriage in the past. But a few days later, I went from being just so sick to feeling back to kind of my normal self, which still involves nausea and fatigue because I live with chronic illness. So I still was a little nauseous and stuff, but I could just tell it was different. I just didn't feel pregnant, if you know what I mean. And that was on Friday when I first started to feel that way. So this had been a few days, and then Saturday came and same thing. I just didn't really feel pregnant anymore. But I had had no bleeding up to this point. And that is the big sign that you are miscarrying, is if there is bleeding, that's the sign you want to call your doctor immediately. But Friday, I didn't really think much of it, but I did take another pregnancy test just to be sure that the line was getting darker, and it was about the same as it was on Tuesday. So I did start to get worried there, but I didn't even call my doctor. I wish I would have, but I didn't call them on Friday because I just thought I wanted to not worry about it. And Saturday came and same thing. Just didn't really feel pregnant. And then Sunday, I thought I should really test again, and this time the line was even lighter. I still hadn't had any bleeding, but I was having a little cramping, and that line was so light that I just knew that I had lost this baby. So I bawled my eyes out all day Sunday. I was just really sad. I knew that it was coming to an end, and I got to the point where I just wanted it to be over. I just kept praying that Heavenly Father would not make me suffer the unknown much longer, because of course there was that tiny part of me that still hung on to the hope that maybe I got a bad thing of tests, maybe there's some miracle out there that's going to save this baby. I couldn't get rid of that tiny hope that I had that this pregnancy might work out. And so I just wanted, if it was gonna end, just let it be done. But unfortunately, I went through all Sunday and I still had no bleeding. So I did try a different brand of tests. My friend brought me one that day and it was still super light, so that was definitely not promising. And I didn't really feel pregnant at that time, but I just decided to keep a little bit of hope. So Monday came and I went throughout the day just kind of knowing there was not that much hope. But I did call my doctor that day. I couldn't call on Sunday or Saturday because they weren't in the office. So I called on Monday and they did an HCG test and it came back as only 13. Which is really bad for having gotten a positive the week before. It should be doubling every couple days, which would mean I would have started at like 1, and that would not make sense because pregnancy tests, at-home pregnancy tests, don't give you a positive until I think at least it's over 10 or so. So that was really not promising, but I still had no bleeding. And so they said, we'll test you again in a couple days. And I was still just kind of waiting for it to happen. I, at that point, had already just bawled my eyes out. Yeah, Sunday morning, I bawled my eyes out. And so I had kind of just accepted it by that point. I wasn't really like emotional about it anymore because I knew it was going to happen. And that night, I finally had a little bit of bleeding. It was very light. And it ended up stopping all throughout the night. So I bled a little bit Monday night, nothing all night, and then I woke up the next day with nothing. So I still knew that that first bleeding was not a good sign, but there was still that tiny bit of hope that everything would be okay. Unfortunately, though, once I got up and moving throughout the day, now it was Tuesday, that's when it all came and it was super painful. I have endometriosis and PCOS. So it causes my periods and also my miscarriages to be extremely painful. So we just wanted to make sure there was no ectopic or anything scary like that. So we did end up going into the doctor and he checked me and said it was probably endometriosis, and then I also had a UTI. So it was a mix of both of those, which is why I was in so much pain. But I was also just bleeding so much and it was awful. But I am still holding on to the hope that our miracle rainbow baby will happen again. We do have one miracle rainbow, and I'm sure that God has a plan for us. and that we are gonna get through this and we're gonna be okay. I'm not sharing this story with you to scare you, but I do want to spread awareness of it and to help anyone who is also suffering a miscarriage know that they are not alone, that I have also experienced what you're experiencing. And if you have experienced a miscarriage and you're struggling, please leave me a comment or send me an email. I would love to talk to you and do what I can to try to take as much pain away as I know I can't take it away, but help you cope through this difficult trial. So that is my story. I am still experiencing pain physically and emotionally today, a few days later, but I am going to get through this, and you are going to get through this as well. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you would like to hear any of my other videos about miscarriage, infertility, chronic illness, motherhood, all of those types of things. Please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you on my next video.